Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for your comments and also for following through, as we've all discussed, to have this hearing today. I want to welcome the new committee members, and I know there'll be a time for us to talk a little bit about the committee going forward. In many ways, this is closing out business from before, but I thank you very much again for having this hearing and look forward to working with everybody on the committee. Madam Secretary, I want to thank you also. I know we've had a number of conversations over the last several weeks and actually over the last 4 years. And I want to thank you for coming in today and honoring the commitment that you made some time ago. I know you've had some health issues still undergoing, and yet you're here today and I think we all do respect the tremendous amount of hard work that you put forth over the last 4 years. You probably traveled more than any Secretary of State in history and came at your job in the way we all thought you would, with hard work and diligence. And I know all of us appreciate the transparency with which you talk to all of us, and candidly irreverence from time to time, which is much appreciated. I do want to say that Benghazi, I think to all of us, represents a lot of different things. In some ways, the aftermath, in particular, of what we saw represents the very worst of Washington. And, you know, the most bizarre briefing I think I ever attended was the briefing we had on September 20th, where the intelligence community said more than nothing, and it was a bizarre briefing at best. It happened in the middle of a political campaign, and obviously there was a lot of spin from the White House and a lot of comments made on both sides of the aisle, which heightened a lot of the focus on Benghazi. I think it also represented a sclerotic department that in many ways made decisions that weren't based on what was best for those in the field. I think it represented in many ways a denial of the world as it really is today. And I think after reading the ARB, it also represented to me a committee that has never done its work, or at least in the 6 years that I've been here, has never done the kind of oversight that this committee ought to do. But I think it also represents an awakening. I know that you have known this, and I know especially many of the members on this committee have known this, but the spiking of the ball and the thinking that when Osama bin Laden was gone, that was the end of al-Qaeda, we know nothing could be further from the truth. And the Arab Spring has actually ushered in a time where al-Qaeda is on the rise. The world in many ways is even more dangerous as we lack a central command and instead have these nodes that are scattered throughout North Africa and other places. And I think this creates an opportunity for us to develop a policy that really addresses the world as it really is today. And then thirdly, Madam Secretary, I know that it was a great personal loss to you that Chris Stevens died in the way that he did, and his 3 colleagues died in the way that they did. I know that you know I was on the ground in Libya immediately after this, and I know you've experienced this, and some of the other members of the committee have, but to look at the faces of those on the ground in Libya in a state of shock, people that we sent there doing expeditionary diplomacy, who felt like they were on a tether and candidly did not have the support from Washington that they needed to do the things that they needed to do. So I think this is an opportunity for us to examine the systemic failures. I know that you're going to be, as per our conversation last night, as transparent as you have always been. I think this is a great opportunity for the incoming Secretary to learn from what has happened. And I know that many times political appointees have great difficulties with the bureaucracy that exists within a department, where sometimes people feel they can wait you out until the next person comes along. So I think this is an opportunity for us to look at those failures. I think it's an opportunity for us also as a committee, but also as a country, to develop a foreign policy that reflects, again, the dynamics of the region as they really are today. And then lastly, I think this is an opportunity for this committee to finally do the work that it should have been doing for years. When you read the ARB report and you realize that we have never done an authorization of the State Department in the 6 years that I've been here. We've never looked at how foreign aid has been spent. We've never done a top-to-bottom review. I know that it's something that people like you who come to this position look at as something that is healthy and can be done in partnership. I know there was some mention of cost, and I was really disappointed with the ARB when the first thing that came out of the mouths of two people that I respect was money, money, money. The fact is, this committee would have no idea whether the appropriate amount of money is being spent or if that could have prevented what happened in Benghazi, because we've never done an authorization. So I look at this as a tremendous opportunity, and I want to close again by thanking you for your service, thanking you for your friendship, thanking you for your transparency, and I certainly look forward to your testimony and know it will be presented in a way that will be constructive and helpful to us in the future. Thank you.